Well, good evening on this Tuesday night. If I have that right, July the 7th, 2026. Keith Gamble here, and welcome to another little mini episode of Keith Gamble Memories of Tina Turner. As I go into my Tina Turner room and here in my house and pull out things you probably haven't seen in a long time, and some I've never shared. So I just do this off the cuff. And like right now, I've got a pile of information here, pile of information here. I've got a whole box down here that I'm still going through of memorabilia. And over here. And of course, many of you have seen the room of things about Tina, but this series that I'm doing, I'm just pulling out things and sharing all off the cuff. Let's see what is in here. It looks like some tickets. I probably haven't seen these in ages. Let's see what we've got in here. All right. March 31st, Friday, 2000. There I was at Louisville in Freedom Hall. How about that? I just uncovered these. So this would have been in 2000. And this would have been on the 24/7 tour. And it was my tradition to always go to 3 concerts every time she went on tour. So looks like Louisville was one of them, and then St. Louis. I wish this camera would focus better. St. Louis at the Kiel Center on May 21st, 2000. So there I was in March, and then in May of 2000 I took my mom to the St. Louis concert at the Kiel Center. All right, let's see what this one is. Friday, October the 20th, 2000, I saw Tina at the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville. Okay, so those were my 3 times. Let's see. Those were my 3 times. It was my tradition to always go see Tina 3 times when she went on tour. So now I can recall in 2000, I saw her in Louisville at Freedom Hall, March 31st. Then on May 21st, I saw her at St. Louis at the Kiel Center. And then on Friday, October the 20th, I saw her in Nashville. And I thought I was done. But I wasn't done, because then came Knoxville. That's a whole nother story. I'm going to save that for another night, because actually when I saw her, and you probably can't see this, on 10/22 of 2000, that was a special trip that wasn't planned. And that's the closest I had ever gotten to Tina physically. And that's a whole nother story for itself, and I'm just going to save that story for another broadcast that I do. All right, let's see what we've got over here. All right, this is a booklet of the 100-year love affair, the 20th century in Haywood County. This was published back in the year 2000, a publication of the Brownsville State-Graphic. And it has lots of information in it about Brownsville and so forth. And they did publish an article on Tina. And there's one on Alex Harvey. So that's something I haven't looked at and read in a long time. I'm going to put this over here in my have seen box. Okay. All right, now some of this Like I say, this is just really informal. It's me going through different stuff that I have that I probably haven't seen in a while. All right, let's see what this is. This looks like the Jackson Sun Weekend Edition, October 19th through October 22nd, 2000. And I saved it because it was advertised in the Tina Turner concert at the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville. Look at those ticket prices: $36.25 and $55.25. And I was there. Joe Cocker opened that one, and I was there. Let's see, that's been 26 years ago. So that's why I saved this paper. Okay. Then I've got some more papers. Let me see what this one is right here. This looks like a newspaper article. It looks like one that I wrote for the Brownsville State-Graphic. See, back in that time, nobody was really promoting Tina in Brownsville or doing anything Tina related, so I was sort of like spreading the Tina news, and I would oftentimes write a guest article for the Brownsville paper. And I'll read this one. Tina to extend U.S. tour. The month of June finds Tina Turner wrapping up her scheduled North American tour dates and heading to Zurich, Switzerland to open the European leg of the 24/7 tour on June 30th. Tina will spend July and August captivating European audiences that basically treat her as royalty. Or are American audiences finally realizing the true treasure she is? Tina is obviously pleased with American audiences, as she has announced that she will return to America in mid-September to do around 40 more U.S. cities. Nashville has made the list. Will Memphis? Well, the answer to that was no. The Queen of Rock will gross between $40 and $50 million on just the first part of the U.S. tour ending this month. Tina was recently chosen by People magazine as one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world. Then I wrote a review of me seeing her in St. Louis at the Kiel Center for the 11th time with the same excitement as when I first saw her in 1985. I ventured to St. Louis to join a capacity crowd of 30,000 to see Tina near the stage, tear the stage up in the same city where she began her career with Ike Turner 4 decades ago. One of the highlights came at the end of the show as Tina was hoisted onto a 300-foot stage arm that elevated and pushed her into the audience while she belted out Nutbush City Limits. After the show, I spotted one sign that read, "We're from Nutbush, Tennessee, and we love you, Tina." The hottest ticket in America hails from Haywood County. That ran sometime in the year 2000 in the Brownsville State-Graphic, and I wrote that one. All right, let's see. Here's one. I won't read it tonight, but it says, let's see, I hadn't seen this, I know, in a long time. Tina keeps rolling before sellout crowds. I wrote that in the Brownsville State-Graphic, and it came out on 11/2/2000. All right, more newspapers. Let's see, I'm probably not going to go over that tonight. Just kind of looking through here. Let's see what this one is. Oh, okay. There is Tina in Memphis, and she appeared at St. Jude. She came to donate money to St. Jude in 2000. And it reads, Love's Got Lots to Do with It. This was published in the Commercial Appeal in Memphis on October 21st, 2000. And it says, former Nutbush, Tennessee resident Tina Turner stopped at Target House on Friday and also toured St. Jude and presented a $250,000 donation for pediatric AIDS research. Now, back then, we didn't know, it wasn't really publicized she was going to be there, so it was a really big surprise. And of course, I cut it out of the Commercial Appeal. I'm sharing different memories and recollections of Tina Turner. You can follow the hashtag Keith Gamble's Memories of Tina Turner to see my episodes. And these are very informal. I just come in my room here and go through my boxes, and I decided I've got so much stuff in the boxes that I haven't touched in a long time. And I'm just sort of going through it to see what all I have. All right, we'll do just a little bit more tonight. Let's see here. Let's look at this article. Maybe I'll turn the light on. Let's see. Well, it's already on, isn't it? Okay, I don't want the glare. It says opinion. Now, this was an opinion by the Jackson Sun newspaper that came out around 1990 in January. And it says, disc jockey wastes time on Star Tribute. Now later, the Jackson Sun had to take that back because that wasn't exactly how things turned out. But this is what the Jackson Sun said about me. Jackson disc jockey Keith Gamble is a fan possessed. For the past 5 years, the Brownsville native has been trying to get his hometown to honor its most famous daughter, rock and roll superstar Tina Turner. The only problem, no one is interested. Hey man, it's hard to let go of a dream, but we say give it up. Well, they may as well just been talking to the wall than to tell me to give up on a dream. Gamble is right about the tourism potential of a Tina Turner Mecca in West Tennessee. Aha! A museum. Ha-ha! Gift shop. They've got that in Brownsville now. And restaurant complex would be a magnet for rock fans all over the country, even the world. I was calling for all of that stuff way back in the 1984. This article's in 1990. There was no Delta Heritage Center until 1999. There was no Flag Grove School till 2012. There was no Tina Turner Highway until 2002. Okay? And being the home of Tina Turner sure beats identifying yourself with a rodent or a fruit. But a Haywood County committee lost interest in the idea of a plaque, monument, or sign honoring Turner only after a few meetings. There's a call, but I'm not going to take it now. And the Grammy Award-winning singer of such hits as What's Love Got to Do With It and Nutbush City Limits hasn't returned Gamble's phone calls or letters, nor has she given the county any reason to believe she wants to be honored. Well, my comment on that is I don't know that that information got to her anyway. What am I doing here? I'm reading an article that was written about me in 1990 in the opinion section of the Jackson Sun, following a previous article in which I read last night. Some say Turner, born in Nutbush to a sharecropper, has bad memories of Haywood County. Gamble suspects Turner's wild lifestyle by Haywood County standards, or even her race, may have something to do with the apathy. Whatever the reason, it's plain to us, Gamble lacks the support of both the people and the honoree. A monument is no good if you don't even have that. we suggest Gamble channel his energies into a fan club to honor Turner and inspire would-be celebrities from his hometown. Brownsville just ain't ready for the Rock and Tina Turner Museum and private dancer nightclub. Well, as things would turn out, Brownsville did, since 1990, in 2012, 22 years later, we got a museum. But this was just their opinion, the Jackson Sun, that they wrote in 2000 in January. You can follow my hashtag, Keith Gamble's Memories, hashtag Keith Gamble, no apostrophe. It's in the description there. Keith Gamble Memories of Tina Turner. And what I do is I come in my Tina Turner room and I'm going through stuff I haven't seen in years, just pulling it out and sharing it. Placing this up on my wall and placing it in my fan club for whomever to see. I going to keep going here a little while tonight. Let's see. How about some pictures? Let's open up a photo album. All right, this is from, and we're going to get a glare here, aren't we? All right, let's see. This is from the early 90s, mid-90s, when we held celebrations in Nutbush. You know where the Nutbush Gin is? Well, behind that gin, sort of catty corner, used to be a school, an old school. Not one that she attended, but we got that school, Sharon Norris and I, and painted it and used it for festivals. Well, here are some of those pictures. You see the banner there? What happened is we wanted a museum of our own before there was one. We wanted to honor Tina then, so that's what we did. We created our own displays. You can see that board was created by myself and Sharon Doyle Norris of Nutbush Heritage Productions. There's a picture of us. We had display cases that she bought. There's a picture looking out the back door. Now that was my cutout. Okay. More pictures. We took our items, a lot of those were mine, and put them up for display, and people came out to the festivals and enjoyed them. The first one was in 1993. All right, I'll show you some more pictures another time. As you can see, I've got a lot of pictures. That's some of the girls that did one of the tributes that year. That's Tara Rawls of Jackson. We've lost contact. And Dorothy Gautreaux, and I can't think of the other girl's name, but they did the Tina show for us. So I have that. Hadn't seen those in a while. All right, let's see. What is this? I haven't seen this in a while. August 17th, 1993. To Tina Turner, Roger Davies Management, 3575 Cahuenga Boulevard West, Suite 580, Los Angeles, California. I wrote this letter, and there it was signed, Sincerely, Keith A. Gamble, back when I lived on Lambeth Boulevard in Jackson, Tennessee. This is 1993. Now, there's a story behind this. I'll read it and tell you the story as I go through. Dear Tina, I like to think of myself as one of the biggest Tina Turner fans, and words cannot express how much I think of your wonderful career in the music industry. Ever since your comeback in the mid-1980s, I have been the main spokesperson for you in Brownsville, Tennessee. As a disc jockey at the local station, I played your records and kept the community informed about your, and I'm trying to show you all the words, life. As a substitute teacher, I related to the children the importance of striving to reach the top no matter the circumstances. I showed them your book and several videos and sat back and watched in absolute astonishment as their eyes widened. From doing and seeing all this, I determined in my mind to work on an appropriate honor for you. After almost 10 years, it is about to happen. That means from 1984 to 1993. This October, that means October 1993, we, the citizens of Haywood County, are joining hands to honor our most famous citizen. See, there are a lot of people out there that think Tina Turner was never honored in Haywood County until 2002 when the state renamed the highway, or 2012 when they moved the school from Nutbush to Brownsville and the school became the museum. No, that's not true. As I've said many times, and I'll say it till the day I draw my last breath, and it'll all be left documented where it is. In 1993, that's when she was first honored. Okay, the letter goes on and says, as chairman of the committee, now what committee am I talking about? I was on the Chamber of Commerce Haywood County Tourism Committee, and I was chairman of the Tourism Committee. I'm elated to present you with a plaque of appreciation and the key to the city of Brownsville. Now, that's real. Somewhere I've got the pictures of that. It was given to me by the mayor, Mr. Jimmy Hallbrook, who used to be the mayor. I took it to Nashville to her concert. A plaque and the key to the city of Brownsville. I have the pictures of me holding all of that. They're up there on Facebook. And I took it to Nashville, and a record rep came out to my seat, took me backstage to close to where her dressing area was, and I was standing there with a few family members. She was not taking any guests back there, but I was told to leave that with this gentleman. So I'm assuming she got it. So she was presented with the key to the city of Brownsville, and she was presented with the plaque of appreciation. It's our way of saying thanks for representing us all over the world. This October, I will let you know the exact date. We will be having a special day in your honor. We will erect a sign in Nutbush that says, "Welcome to Nutbush, home of Tina Turner," which we did. We also will be conducting a planning tour of Nutbush for all interested people to see. Working with Nutbush Heritage Productions, we envision a tourist attraction out of this world. Hopefully with your support and help, this can come true. We love you with all our hearts. Please find time to come back to meet and greet us. Hopefully in October we will hear from you. You are the constant talk of Haywood Counties of all ages and races, and we proudly honor you. What I'm most proud of that is knowing that she did get the key to the city of Brownsville from the mayor. They gave it to me. I took it to Nashville. I didn't get to directly give it to her, but I gave it to some gentleman, and I'm assuming that she was given the key to the city of Brownsville, and she was given the plaque. And so I'm proud of that, because I believe in giving people their flowers while they're here, and I'm less concerned about the flowers that I get in return. That's just the way it is with me. Okay, maybe just a few more things tonight. Oh, let's see. Here's a PSA. For those of you who don't know what that is, that means public service announcement. Back in 1993, I would run these off of a machine, print them out, and mail them. I was like my own media person. I mailed these to 50 radio stations in West Tennessee. I mailed them to TV stations. This was our PSA. And you can see up there it says air it through 10/16/93. It says, Tina Turner fans, get ready for a celebration in Nutbush, Tennessee on October 16th from 11 to 8. It's the kickoff for the Nutbush Tourist Center. Come take a tour of Tina's home area, see an exhibit, the new sign, plus arts and crafts, good food, music, and even a few surprises. Donations will go toward the restoration of the building and development of tourism. And for more information, you could call Sharon Norris or myself. And I told them where Nutbush was located. All right. Let's see here. Tonight, what I might show. Do I want to do the scrapbook? Maybe. This is a scrapbook, old-fashioned scrapbook. Open it up. Let's see what's in here. Whoa. Opinion article. Saturday, October 9th, 1993, the week before we had our celebration in Nutbush. Jackson Sun. Town's banking on star power of Tina Turner. Okay, I'm not going to read that tonight. I will be back to that another episode. I'll just show you some things in it. Okay, different letters. I'll show you this one. Brownsville, Haywood County Chamber of Commerce, Brownsville, Tennessee. March 18, 1993. Written to Doug Chapin, executive producer of What's Love Got to Do with It, in Beverly Hills, California. And written by Cherie Sorrell, the executive director of the Brownsville Haywood County Chamber of Commerce. What was it about? It's going to be coming up in one of my episodes. All right. Sorry for all the camera. Like I told y'all, this is really informal, off the cuff. This is the way it is. All right. Just looking through here. October 16th, 1993. We had our first Nutbush Day. And you can see the names of the people that came out to Nutbush. And they signed my old-fashioned scrapbook. And their address. And it goes on and on. October 16th, 1993, we had about 500 people to come to our celebration in Nutbush. The Haywood County Sheriff's Department had to come out and help direct traffic. We did this grassroots. This was not done by a governmental body or a governmental entity. And you can see numerous people that came out for the first time that Tina Turner had ever been honored in Haywood County. And I had them sign my scrapbook. Isn't that something? So I always like to tell people, if you believe in something and it's not moving fast enough and you don't think it can be done, sometimes you are the one to get it done. And this is one of those cases where I would not be denied in what I was doing. Sharon would not be denied. And we saw it through to fruition. All right, let's see. Then the scrapbook. Just a few more things here, just turning pages. A few pictures. A few pictures there. All right, that's us going out on tour out in Flag Grove, showing them where Tina was from. We had a bus tour. There's Sharon, the lady I worked with, showing some people that got off the bus some of the sites where Tina was born and frequented and lived. All right. I'm just going to save some of this. I'm just turning because some of this I'll get on another episode. I'm going to close that scrapbook. Maybe one more thing. If anybody has a question, you can shoot me in the comments. I'll be glad to take a question. What is this? It's like a ribbon, right? Okay, I know what that is. When they cut the ribbon on the grand opening of the Flag Grove Tina Turner Museum, this is a piece of it. I actually cut a piece of the grand opening ribbon to the Tina Turner Museum in Brownsville. That's what that is. All right, I'm going to do one more thing before I get off tonight. I don't know what it is because I'm just turning and looking. Let's see what this is. All right. We'll close out tonight with this. This ran in the Jackson Sun after we had our first celebration in October 1993. Nutbush honors Tina Turner. Now that photo is of my late Aunt Tommy Timms and my wonderful grandmother, Ruby Gamble. And they had attended. And it says, residents pay tribute to world-famous singer Tom Corwin, the Jackson Sun. Her first school is now a home for sows, and where her family's home once stood is now nothing but bales of cotton. But Nutbush has never forgotten its most famous child, singer Tina Turner, and hundreds turned out in her old hometown Saturday for the Tina Turner celebration of Nutbush. The event is the work of WFKX DJ Keith Gamble and Nutbush native Sharon Norris. The two hope to establish a tourism center next year to honor Turner. Turner did not show Saturday, but organizers hope one day to convince her to purchase the old Nutbush School and convert it into a center. With Turner on tour in Europe, Norris took visitors on a tour of her own into the country outside Nutbush that showed just how far the singer born Anna Mae Bullock has come. Off an old gravel road in the midst of a cotton field in Flag Grove is a blue tin shack where pigs scamper and lie in the shade. This was the school where Turner learned her ABCs, Norris said. Chickens led the way for the tour down the side of a drifted like snow down the side. The tour was a little much for Turner fans Sandra Fuller of Cedar Grove and Mildred Lipscomb of Milan. It was kind of depressing to me, Fuller said. That's the most cotton I've ever seen in my life. All right, let me just go through here. Okay. I'll let y'all look at that. R.W. Turner was the man that owned the school behind the gin. It was a school and a church, and he allowed us to use the building to hold these festivals. That is Tina's first cousin, late first cousin, that lived in Nutbush, Joe Melvin Curry. And I'm going to close with a story tonight about Joe Melvin Curry. That's Tina Turner's first cousin. He passed away. Okay, here's the story. When I was 16 years old, in Brownsville, I had a summer job. This is before I knew anything about Tina Turner. And seeing this picture prompted me to share this with you. We were going door to door checking on rabies control, asking people for their vaccination papers. And I was 16. It was called the CETA Job Summer Program. So we knocked on the door, went in. I didn't know him, from anybody. And I, asked him, could we see his papers for vaccination? And looked over on the table, and there was a picture of this pretty lady. She had long black hair, and she looked like she had Native American features and was very pretty. I said, who is that lady? And he goes, that's my first cousin, Tina Turner. Well, it didn't faze me any, because I didn't know anything about Tina at 16. Point of that story is, it would be 2 years later when I was 18. I was on the campus of Memphis State getting my bachelor's degree, and had just begun a job on Brownsville Radio as the DJ. Listening to the radio on the campus of Memphis State driving, they played this song called Let's Stay Together, which Tina recorded as her comeback song. The old Al Green song. So they played it, and I was just driving around, and I didn't still know who she was. And at the end, the announcer said, and that's Tina Turner from Brownsville, Tennessee. And I said, oh, now I get it. That's the lady that I was in her first cousin's house. That's her picture. And I'm the DJ in Brownsville, and I'm going to get to play that on the air, and everybody's going to go nuts. I'm excited. So I went to Cat's Record Store, Poplar Tunes in Memphis, and I bought, because we had to buy most of our music back then, I bought the record. I bought the album, and I began coming back to Brownsville on the weekends doing what was called the Soul Show from about 10 to midnight, and I would play Tina. I'm going to stop it there tonight. That's when the attraction and the infectious desire came in, because I wanted to be a DJ ever since I was a little boy. And to get to play someone from my hometown was just like, to me, as exciting as it might be for someone going to put their toes in the sand, so to speak, or to play their golf game, or to play their football game. It was great. Well, I've enjoyed tonight. I just do this periodically. You can catch these episodes. I've entitled them Keith Gamble Memories of Tina Turner. And they will be on my wall, the YouTube link. And so until the next time, I hope that you will have a great rest of the week, and that you will take some form of inspiration from these things that I'm sharing. God bless everybody, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.